full fucking minute of logos. Horror sequel goes back in time cliche. This picture is different from the first Insidious. And yeah, they had to change the actor, which is fine. But the demon is standing by the car here, when in the first one, it was just a reflection in the windshield.
And he's afraid. I'm afraid too.
Guy who doesn't want the mother to know what he's saying whisper yells so she can easily hear it. If there were videos of these same moments, he would not be able to distinguish them from the photographs, because this is the extent of the demon's abilities.
I'd like to try something with you, Josh. And I promise, it won't hurt.
You mean speaking with your real voice rather than the obvious Lin Shaye overdub? Getting into Josh's dream will require the lighting of approximately 1 million candles.
Are you alone?
No, she's here.
Hypnotized Josh plays the pronoun game so that Elise has to ask who the hell she is.
I'll walk around the house, and you tell me if I'm getting warmer or colder.
Child who doesn't want to give away the demon's location is fooled into thinking it won't be mad as long as Elise has to work for it.
Who are you? What do you want?
I just want a photobomb. I thought everybody knew that. Demon with this kind of power has a horrible time possessing children for some reason.
Can you stop it?
I could take away his gift to suppress his memory of his ability.
Because I have the neuralizer from Men in Black and the trolls from Frozen in my car. And if that doesn't work, I'll use the Obliviate spell taught to me by one Hermione Granger. After 10 minutes of actual movie grinds to a halt with 2-minute opening credit sequence. Might as well put a credit in there that says it's okay to get concessions now. Rose Byrne isn't my girlfriend in this scene, although she's kind of busy talking to a cop, so as soon as her murder rap is in the clear, I'm reserving the right to be mad she's not my girlfriend in whatever scene that is. Previously on Insidious. Even if Josh just lost the demon, none of his actions make sense. He's walking into a room, sees a clearly dead person sitting in a chair, and he walks in like, "What's for dinner, honey?"
This is a photo Elise took seconds before she was killed.
Which, if the first movie is to be believed, is a picture of a demon lady who killed her. So why are they worried about Josh? Shouldn't they be looking for an evil witch lady already?
Elise has marks on her neck that were put there by human hands. I'll let you know if forensics matches those marks to your husband.
They never show this picture in the first movie or in this scene. Is it Josh lunging at the camera with a demon lady behind him? Or is it just the demon lady? In the first movie, we see a reenactment of what happened, but we don't see what the camera actually took a picture of. If it's just this, then the cops are pinning this on the husband for virtually no reason, other than they saw the first Insidious in theaters. Child who just went through some horrific shit is now reading The Turn of the Screw before bedtime. Demon follows the Paranormal Activity 2 model and takes the baby out of the crib, but loses all power to do anything after that.
I heard the piano playing by itself downstairs, and I found Callie on the floor of her room by her crib.
Well, maybe she climbed out of her crib.
Maybe you missed the part when I said the piano was playing all by itself. Actually, it's amazing when we see Josh's weird behavior that Renee doesn't think he's still possessed.
Turns out the living version of someone's always better.
That's racist.
Hunt a ninja bear.
Paper, rock, scissors mods. How does this guy know we want to fast forward through all this shit?
Right there.
Oh. Also, movie again cuts away from the crucial moment in 1986 so we can see some more demon tomfoolery. Everyone's addicted to horror movies and books after the events of the first Insidious. Children's toys are irresistible to evil spirits. Also, I'm sitting the children's toy industry for making these abominations. Don't mind me, just ghosting through the background. You in for some Thai food later? Say no to drugs, Ghost.
I'm going to.
Foreshadowing.
Grandma walked in.
Previously on Insidious Chapter 2. Since Lorraine saw the ghost later, why didn't she see the ghost when she was in Dalton's bedroom?
Is there something wrong with Daddy, Mom?
No.
Denial.
I'm gonna take the boys to school.
I'm totally a demon stance.
I, cropped and lightened the image.
Yeah, but how did you know something was back there the first time you watched this? You pointed like you saw something when you clearly couldn't see anything until you lightened the image.
Lorraine, is that Josh?
How is that possible?
It's not.
It seems the bruises on Elise Renee's neck do not match your husband's hands.
Because the murder suspect in the photo is a woman. Seriously, f this thing. Now, I'm not gonna lie. If I saw this in real life, it would freak me the f out. But I'm a little down on this ghost song choice. This seems a little cliche for me. It's like on American Idol when someone busts out Edwin McCain's I'll Be. Ghost disappears like a dick and then continues the song in the baby's room. My question is, why didn't it just do that in the first place, instead of appearing on the couch like some sort of Cheshire Blair Witch basement victim? Oh, now it's scary. Like you didn't know that was happening in the baby's room until she cried. Ghost left the door open so that it could cruelly close it in Renee's face at the perfect time. This situation isn't scary unless you see a door close by itself. Tommy Wiseau is still pissed about Lisa cheating on him.
Don't you dare!
Movie doesn't cater to my male-gazing, hot ghost lesbian on hot living bi-curious MILF wish fulfillment.
It's been a long time.
Lorraine apparently knows every single legitimate medium in the world.
Help us contact her.
Everybody has their own way of making contact.
Mine just happens to be dumber than everyone else's. Yahtzee!
I suppose I should have explained. Sometimes contact can't be made.
And by sometimes, I mean all the time.
Are you here?
Third time's a charm. She was just out smoking cigarettes the other 2 times.
Do not break the circle.
Don't break the circle cliche. Although, to be honest, I'm not quite sure why ghosts care so much about geometry. I could easily randomly throw dice and get a yes out of it. I've proven this time after time during boggle sessions.
Elise, we need to know who killed you.
Elise's ghost plays the pronoun game in the most frustrating way possible, through dice, so that Carl will have to ask who the hell she means, through dice.
Where is she?
I might be a little upset with this ghost because of the vagueness, but I think it's just the limits of this dice game. Why doesn't he have like 300 dice so she can be more specific? Or better yet, a program on a computer that throws graphic representations of dice that the ghost can manipulate using electronic waves. Oh, I'm the one that's stupid, you say.
Tell us where to find your killer.
I seriously doubt that he has enough dice to spell even this, but I'm a little more upset about how this scene is almost 3 minutes of dice throwing.
Now only the ghosts are left.
Abandoned haunted hospital cliche. It's not a James Wan movie without a creepy doll f***ing everything up. Carl sees ghosts MTV music video style. Somehow Josh's mom and the other nurse didn't see this old man get up.
I just rode down in the elevator with him. He should be in bed on the monitor with fluids.
Lorraine, that patient died yesterday morning.
What?
He jumped to his death.
Somehow, the story of the old man's horrible suicide didn't make it to Lorraine. No one called her and no one mentioned it despite the fact that she's been working at the hospital all day. Amateur dentistry.
Your dead soul is killing his living skin.
Man, that is just frightening. It troubles me to the core, how much ghosts play the pronoun game. Now I admit this is probably because Josh knows who the voice is talking about, but I think it's more because the ghost is a screenwriter who doesn't want to give away the name yet.
They want what you have. Life.
Well, someone saw Poltergeist.
You don't know that song?
No, I don't.
That's my song. The song I wrote for you.
How is it that Josh remembers pretty much everything, except this one vital thing that gives him away? Movie decides to Blair Witch its way through the haunted house scenes.
It seems a little girly for a boy's bedroom, don't you think?
That's racist. Also, do you not remember that the guy tried to castrate himself? This clue could not have hit you in the head any cleaner. It's a horror movie, so of course, rocking horses.
This is my room!
What a f***er. Ghosts continue the preferred turned around state when they appear.
If she sees you, she'll make me kill you.
At this point, we really don't know what this demon's powers are. It's been f***ing with people for 2 movies, but she killed Elise, and that's the only person she's killed. She hasn't made Josh kill his family yet, but apparently his youthful good looks are tied to it. I'm just really confused right now.
I have something to show you.
Demon Ghost decides to talk to Dalton through the tin can telephone because it's stupider that way.
Who are you? What was he killed?
Okay, goddammit. This movie is trying to beat Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows for the most pronoun game usage ever. People have proper names. They use them all the time. This movie is a dick to proper names. That's just Lisa. She jumped the gun. We're supposed to be a team, Lisa. I'm so confused by the motivations of these ghosts. Was that girl just a distraction? I mean, why did they send a scout before coming out as a gang?
You're trying to reach her, but you won't.
And let me tell you why this movie's use of the pronoun game is so egregious. Because there are multiple characters we're trying to keep straight. There's a guy who wanted to be a woman who killed women. There's a demon woman who could possibly be that same guy, or not. And there's Elise. I'm pretty sure fake Josh is talking to normal Josh about Elise here, but this is beyond exhausting. Patrick Wilson is walking tall. Help! Honestly, they could have just dispensed with the surprise of this long ago, and it would have been a lot more effective. We already knew Josh wasn't himself because he'd been a dumbass this whole movie. Also, this would have been an excellent opening to the movie. And every time fake Josh showed up around Renee and the kids, we'd feel the tension.
Why did you bring us here?
Probably didn't work because he's not in a circle right now. Also, dice clearly spelled out Rixum, which if you don't know what that means, I'm not going to tell you. Movie clearly calls for the ghost of Dobby to f with this chandelier, but due to copyrights, he was unable to actually show up in the film.
Morse. Latin for death?
Because ghosts suddenly decide that Latin is the best way to communicate at this point. Did the ghost know that Lorraine was coming in here and was going to stand on this very spot?
You're not Elise, are you?
Evil Ghost tells the truth, and Carl wastes time figuring out something he already knew.
Mater Mortis. Mother of death.
What does that mean?
Seriously?
It's literal. It simply means the mother of Parker Crane.
Parker Crane is death? I thought he was simply a serial killer. Does that mean the mothers of John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Charles Manson, and Ted Bundy were also the mothers of death? Oh yeah, sure. Now it's scary.
Bride in Black. I know that name.
Is she related to the woman in black?
Bride in Black claims his 15th victim.
If the killer is a bride in black, the pronoun is her, not him. Oh, come on. This guy has that kind of power now? The guy throws dice.
He killed for his mother because she forced him to. He wanted his childhood back. That's why he went after your son.
So as an old man, he woke up from a coma because he sensed Josh next to him in a hospital bed and said, "Now's the time?"
Renee.
Lorraine decides to be a jump-scared dick rather than going through the motions of normal conversation to talk to her daughter-in-law.
It's not the house. It's Josh.
Evil demon spirit apparently makes Josh wake up, but only after the people she wants him to kill are long gone.
The code word is quesadilla. Say it with me.
I thought we agreed on unicorn as the code word.
I know you guys are nerds and this is all comic relief and shit, but there's no way you guys had this conversation and settled on a code word without arguing this same argument you're having now. Wait, this tooth is still sitting out here in the open? He just pulled that tooth out and threw it on the floor and no one saw it? First off, gross. Second off, wouldn't it be wise when you're dealing with spirits and not wanting to get caught doing paranormal investigations not to hold the tooth up in full view like this? This further illustrates why you should not prepare syringes in people's living rooms. Josh is possessed by a psycho demon and is probably going to kill this guy, but still needs to bother with the subterfuge.
Why don't you ask your dice what I have behind my back?
Evil spirit continues to be evil to the audience by indulging in Carl's dice games.
What is Josh? What is Parker Crane holding behind his back?
Would Parker's mom not have answered the question if Carl had said Josh? Also, did Josh holding a knife behind his back require any goddamn suspense whatsoever? I think it would have been scarier if the dice spelled out giant 12-inch dildo.
She was always right.
Oh yeah, now it's scary. You just heard Carl calling Parker Crane, you f***ing unicorn or quesadilla idiots. I've got a knife, but I'm going to throw this cup at you first because murder requires foreplay. Man, that lantern has Guardians of the Galaxy strength batteries, doesn't it?
That thing is gonna murder my family if I don't get back.
Honestly, I'm just thankful he waited so long. What's up with that shit anyway? Carl, you got any answers?
I'm getting weaker the longer I'm away from my body.
A fact that will surely have no bearing on the rest of this movie, but let's just say it so it sounds like a major problem.
He's got your baby. He's got your baby.
He's got your baby.
Scary helpful people.
He's pointing at something.
And he has the Guinness Book of World Records longest arm for someone shorter than 6 feet tall record. Okay, so this is from the first Insidious, and the movie's going to reuse a lot of footage, adding context to the first movie. I admit, it's pretty cool, but why does Josh get to go back in time? Funny, Josh didn't hear that in this movie or in the last one. Also, why didn't he just keep pounding on the door?
Go to hell!
At least Ex Machina. These spirits can physically touch things and manipulate them in the real world. But this window smashing didn't happen in the first movie unless they're saying this only happened in the spirit world, which is bullshit. I'm all for this plot development. It gives the first Insidious some interesting wrinkles. But since some of this didn't happen, it's sort of like a round peg trying to fit into a square hole.
I wish I could say it's good to see you.
Why didn't you find Josh earlier? Was your ghost attracted by the disturbance in the force? The f***?
But I came back here because I heard you calling.
It just took me forever because you needed to be in a life or death situation before I could actually make it to your general area.
Maybe we're asking the wrong Josh.
So let's go back in time again. I bet it's just a left turn past the McDonald's and we're in 1986, presto changeo.
So that's what that was about.
Funny line, but I bet you knew even before you got here what that was about. Also, you guys are just going to keep this time-traveling thing a secret, aren't you?
It's been so long since I felt real pain.
Renee!
I missed it. But not as much as I miss inflicting it on others.
But for some reason, a crisis of conscience prevented me from doing it until the climax of the film. Also, Parker recites a whole soliloquy, which gives Lorraine and Renee time to move a whole goddamn piano in front of the door to prevent him from coming in. Okay, so that whole piano thing didn't even matter as it turns out. Are we saying that his demon power allows him to push the door open with the whole piano in front of it? That guy barely held back an old man trying to stick him with a syringe earlier.
I didn't want this, Renee.
But I'm going to go through a lot of trouble to explain it anyway. I'm a psycho killer. Let's do the one act of murder that takes the longest amount of time. You didn't hear these kids come in? They opened the door and shut the door. And this kid didn't start screaming until his brother had time to find a baseball bat and sneak up behind you. It's plot convenience. Renee locks this door, and I'm dubious a door inside the house has a lock like this for any reason. But whatever. The house proceeds to make even less sense as Josh simply walks to the next door and finds Renee immediately, who is for some reason stumbling around the room trying to get to another door when she should be long gone already. So wait, young Josh pointed them to a door in his old house which led them straight to Parker Crane's house. But in the real world, these two houses are far apart from each other. So what makes them so close in the further? Why is the further so bright now?
Your name is Marilyn.
I guess they went back in time again, but I don't know how walking through a door in 1986 suddenly takes you back to, what year is this? I'm going to say the 1930s. Why does the further take you back to the absolute seminal moments in this plot's history? Oh, you're just now noticing these two. They were directly in front of your son a minute ago. It took screaming to turn the lights out in the further. Also, where did Josh go? Oh, Josh is in a place.
I can go into the dark place and find Daddy if I go to sleep.
I can go to sleep on cue. They taught me that at Juilliard. Weren't these dead women in an entirely different room when Lorraine and the Scooby-Doo gang were in this house earlier? Also, where's the door where they can just run into the kid's bedroom in a completely different house willy-nilly? Is there any sort of geometry to this f***ing place? These assholes are just now waking up and aren't dead. Why is Josh doing this? What purpose does it serve to keep pulling the sheets off these women? Is he hoping to find a dimensional warp under one of these sheets? Oh, so I'm the crazy one. You mean the plot in the 1930s and the plot in the modern day are converging together? That's so unexpected. Also, does this mean that the kid didn't end up killing all those women? Did they change the future with this?
I felt your heartbeat when I hugged you. You're still alive.
And somehow made it into the further because of your dice, I guess.
I came to bring you home.
I have the world's longest tin can telephone ready to guide us back.
How did you find me?
I followed your steps.
Oh. Josh and his kid are getting MIB'd so they don't remember this shit. So tell me, can I hire Carl too?
The lady standing behind them.
Movie invents a way to keep Elise doing the exact same thing she did when she was living, which is basically like saying she didn't die at all.
Oh my God.
Obvious sequel is obvious.
Mors, Latin for death?
It's okay, it's okay.
You're gonna be okay. Say the goddamn words. You're gonna be okay. Oh, God. Say the goddamn fucking words.
I hate this. I like to torture him.
But this room is also where the doppelgangers have been reported.
Yeah?
I'd really like to talk to whoever is impersonating Rebecca and her son.
The doppelganger is such an interesting but pretty far out concept in terms of the paranormal, you know?
Don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me. I didn't do anything. Ow! Ow! Ow!
I see a red door and I want it painted black.
Caffeine will kill ya!
Elise, we are calling out to you. Tell us if you are there.